Are you a 20-something with a big vision, only to find yourself burning out halfway there? Do you feel like you're constantly choosing between success and protecting your peace? What if I told you it is possible to build your dream life in your 20s without running yourself into the ground? In this video, I'm giving you the exact framework on how to get there. Hi everyone, I'm Mia, and welcome to my channel. I'm 20, living in London, and figuring out how to build my dream life in my 20s without burning out in the process. Here I share everything I'm learning about balancing big goals with real rest, navigating the chaos of your early 20s, and actually enjoying the journey from career moves and city life to friendships, fitness, and personal growth. If you're trying to thrive in your 20s and want a space that feels honest, motivating, and full of possibility, you're in the right place. So I moved to London from South Africa when I was 18 years old to pursue my wildest dreams in the big city. And naturally, I am one of those people who do want it all. And for the longest time in London, I was just being so go, go, go. But I was very frustrated because I was constantly just hitting walls and falling into slumps. The biggest lesson I realized is that in order to build my dream life, I cannot be running on empty. I cannot be chasing after everyone else's version of success. And it really took a lot of inner work and redesigning all my systems to get me to the place where I can go after whatever I want and not burn out in the process. And here is everything I have learned. So keep watching if you want to build your dream life without crashing out. You need to define your dream life and not someone else's. Success in your 20s can feel like a never-ending checklist, especially when you're in a city like London, where it's so easy to compare yourself and feel like you're falling behind. When you are chasing after everyone else's version of success, of course, going after your dream life feels exhausting. But when you zoom in on your path and truly discover your dream life, the work towards it, while it may be hard, will feel energizing. Your dream life is so much more than just a Pinterest board or a certain figure in your bank account. The way I define a dream life is a daily alignment to your values. And once you have this neat definition of your dream life, it becomes a lot easier to investigate what that is going to look like for you. So get out your journal and ask yourself, what would an ideal day in my dream life look like? What would be your non-negotiables? What do you prioritize spending time on? The second you get clear on your dream life is when you can begin to create the systems that will get you there. And that leads me on to our next point. Create systems, not pressure. Don't hustle for hustle's sake. Build a sustainable system that supports your goals. Your dream life is not a sudden transformation. It is a collection of small, daily decisions and how those decisions compound over time. In order to begin living your dream life, think less about achieving and more so about becoming that version of you that makes decisions for a life worth living. It is so important to set goals, but remember, goals are the destination, but systems are the route. And without a route, you stay stuck in one place. So what I want you to do is adopt the habits of your dream self before you even become that person. When you embody their habits, you are collapsing that gap between your current self and your dream self every day. Systems reduce overwhelm and decision fatigue. Systems give structure to chaos, which is especially important in a busy city like London. And when your systems and your routines support your well-being, your goals become so much more sustainable, and you preserve your well-being in the long run in pursuit of them. The right system should feel like scaffolding, not a cage. And it's going to take some experimentation to get there, but building a system that supports you in your pursuit of achieving your goals is a cheat code for going after your dream life. And look, motivation will come and go, but it is your systems that create consistency. You don't have to be motivated every day, nor will you be. But if you have the right habits and support system in place, you will still show up. And I know discipline feels so hard at first, but eventually it creates freedom. Freedom from burnout, self-doubt, and inconsistency. By carving out intentional time and energy towards your goals in your daily life, you are rather building your dream life through alignment than through pressure. Instead of pushing yourself harder and trying to do a million things at once in order to be busy and productive, you start aligning yourself with the things that actually nourish you and the things that are actually going to take you where you need to go. It is so important to build systems that feel supportive and not punishing, and to craft routines that work with your energy and not against it. So what this looks like for me is checking in with myself. How am I feeling? How am I doing energetically? If I'm feeling really low energy, I am going to follow a more low energy version of my routine. Versus when I'm extremely motivated and inspired, I am going to tailor my routine to make sure I make the most of that energy. By practicing energy management and taking rest seriously when you need it, you're preventing yourself from burning out from being too go, go, go. What I love to do is I love to plan my weeks in advance. So how I do that is I set 3 goals for the week, and then I spread the work required to achieve these goals throughout the week in order to create a sustainable plan for achieving them. It is important in your week to have your non-negotiables, the tasks and routines you won't miss. Try everything, judge nothing. Your 20s are all about experimenting. You will never get clear on the exact person you want to be if you aren't open to the possibilities of who you could become. Your mind is still so young and it's still developing in your 20s. There is no better time to test out new routines. Do you function better when you wake up at 6? Does it make more sense for you to go to the gym before work or after work? It is also really important to try new careers. The great thing about your 20s is the amount of pivots you can make professionally. You can do this through the degree you're studying, the internships you do. The more you test different avenues in your professional life, the more likely you are to tailor a career path that is actually meant for you and that you actually want to wake up and do every day. It is also so important to have hobbies outside your career, especially in a city like London where it is so easy to get sucked into the corporate world. You need to have things you just do for fun and not for money. And by trying new things, you never know which thing is going to be a safe space or release from the world. I also think it's important to try out different social circles because you are still so young. It is said that you are the sum of the people around you. And if your circle isn't currently uplifting you, motivating you, inspiring you, being a true friend to you, then you need the courage to start over. Accepting the fact that right now in your 20s, you are malleable will create something so magic in your life. I think it is so beautiful to think that in 6 months, I might be an entirely different person. To build your dream life in your 20s without burning out, you need to know how to recognize burnout early. It is important to remember you can feel lonely, burnt out, or behind and still be building something beautiful. You need to let go of the idea that everything needs to be perfect in order to be worthwhile. Progress isn't always shiny. It is really hard on your dark days when you're feeling unmotivated to not have that support system if you've moved to London from somewhere else. There is a lot of pressure in London to keep up with everyone and to constantly achieve more and more. Even when you aren't comparing yourself to other people, you're constantly comparing yourself to your own expectations. And this is when burnout can sneak up on you, even if you are ambitious. Sometimes burnout doesn't look like a full crash out. It can look like not sleeping well, even when you're exhausted, feeling constantly irritable or emotionally flat, saying yes even when you know you are overbooked, losing excitement for the things you used to love, and feeling like you're doing everything right, but internally you're not feeling okay. these moments of burnout do not mean you're failing. If anything, they mean you're growing. Growth is uncomfortable. The transition from who you are now into the person you want to be is going to be messy. It's going to be hard. There are going to be moments where you feel like giving up. These hard moments are part of building something. They are not the whole story, but they are very important chapters. That being said, you can't build anything when you're stuck in survival mode. It is dangerous how the grind mentality, especially in a big city like London, can mask deep emotional exhaustion, which will lead you to push yourself without rest and to no limit. If you are always tired and always behind and doubting yourself, it is not that you're not doing enough. And when you feel like this, pushing through is not the solution. You need to give yourself the space and time to recover. And burnout is not the end. It is just a sign to pause and rest. You don't need to abandon your dream life. You just need to build it in a way that also takes care of you. And that leads us to building a life that recharges you too. I realized I was treating self-care as a reward for productivity. But what I didn't know is that it was actually the foundation of my dream life. You can't pour from an empty cup. Your dream life isn't just about what you accomplish. It's about how you feel while accomplishing it. In order to build a life that recharges you, you need to manage your energy. And here are my 4 pillars for energy management. Number 1 is going to be rituals. Your rituals are the things that ground you. What those little things look like for me is making a matcha and going on solo dates. The second pillar of energy management will be boundaries. Learning how to say no, especially in London where all you want to say is yes, has changed my life. And I went from saying yes out of fear to saying no out of self-respect. The third pillar of energy management is going to be your environment. London can either drain you or energize you, depending on how you experience it. I love going for hot girl walks to clear my head. I love to put on a candle and make nourishing food in my beautiful kitchen. It could be curating your space so that it feels like you. The final pillar of energy management is going to be connection. Recharging doesn't always mean being alone. It also means being with the right people. It is also about prioritizing quality over quantity in friendships. If there is one thing to help you get out of your own way when it comes to building your dream life, it is working smarter and not harder. Because it is not about doing everything. It is about doing the right things and doing the right things consistently. So start with clarity. What actually matters? So many of us in our 20s are stuck in this hustle mode where we are just saying yes to every opportunity that comes our way. But it is rarely intentionality that makes your effort count. So ask yourself regularly, what are my top 3 goals this season? And what do I actually need to do to move the needle? Remember those systems we were talking about earlier? Those are going to lead you to the smart work versus the hard work. What systems do is they create flow. They remove decision fatigue and help you get your energy back for the important work. As I mentioned earlier, I plan my week in advance. So once I'm in the thick of it, I can just do what I need to do without constantly having to choose the right path. Your dream life isn't built in chaos. It is built in clarity. You are not here to do it all. You are here to do what matters. And you're here to do it well and sustainably. Sometimes it feels like we're in a rush to achieve our dream life, but you need to let it be a slow burn. Your dream life isn't built in one perfect month or one perfect year. It is a series of quiet, consistent choices. There is a lot of comparison going on in the world and on social media that leads us to believe that we have to make it in our 20s. And while some people do, and while that's fantastic, that is not going to be the case for everyone. But that's not to say you will never make it. I truly do believe that we can get wherever we need to go in life with enough consistent effort. Don't get demotivated when you put in 3 months of work with no reward. Reframe how the work you're doing right now is setting you up for long-term success. Because oftentimes, if the success is overnight, it is not going to leave a lasting legacy. You would rather want a slow burn and a reward that lasts a lifetime than a miraculous flash in the pan. I think especially for those of us in London, slowing down is a power move. In a city where everyone's trying to sprint towards the finish line, walking with purpose is rebellious. Choosing to work smarter and not overcommitting and not rushing. It is a form of self-trust and belief that you will achieve what you need to achieve. And if you don't consciously slow down in a big city, the city will make you slow down in the form of burnout and overwhelm, which is the last thing we want. Slow growth is still growth. Resting is still progress. Being kind to yourself is ambitious. I am not here to tell you that you are going to build your dream life overnight. But what I am here to tell you is that with enough self-trust and care and purpose with your mission, you will build your dream life day by day. Remember, your dream life isn't some arbitrary thing out there. It is the little ways you show up for yourself. It is the way you speak to yourself and the people you surround yourself with. Your dream life is intention. And when you move with intention, you are going to attract it to you, just like that. So tell me, what is the one thing you can do this week that is going to help you go after that dream life without burning yourself out? After this video, I want you to journal and ask yourself, what does my dream life look like? What boundaries do I need to put in place in order to achieve it? And how can I manage my energy in order to have enough to do the real work? If you like this video, please do give it a like and subscribe if you want more content about navigating your 20s. We'll talk about relationships, career, hobbies, passions, and of course balance in a big city like London. Remember, your dream life shouldn't cost you your health, joy, or peace. You need to build it on a foundation that lasts. Until the next one,